Hi, everybody. Joe Cioffi here. Weather in 5 days in 5 minutes. It's Saturday, November the 11th, and we've got the Joe and Joe Weather Show coming up Sunday evening at 7:35 p.m. Eastern Time. This is going to be a fairly easy weekend weather-wise as we take a look at the satellite loop. The clouds that are streaming up from the Pacific across the Gulf of Mexico, western Gulf of Mexico, and through the southeast and into the mid Atlantic states. That is not a problem for us. We were close to the frontal boundary yesterday that has shifted southward, and we do have a cold flow of air coming down from Canada, and that really describes the weekend that we're going to have here, which will feature sunshine by day and cold nights. And that chilly air will last into the start of next week, but we've got no rain. On the other hand, as we check the radars, some much needed rain running through the southeastern states. A lot of these areas are experiencing drought conditions, varying from moderate to extreme in some places. This is not going to break the drought, but it's been mostly dry for the last couple of months here. And also, we know of the severe drought that is over Louisiana. Well, there's more moisture coming up from the southwest. So they did get some rain yesterday, and more rain is coming there. But here in the Northeast, it's quiet. The radars are pretty much in shutdown mode. A couple of snow showers going on in areas between Binghamton and Syracuse along I-81, and that's it. We've got some heavy weather coming into the Pacific Northwest and just some patchy areas of precipitation, mostly rain from Texas northeastward on up into Minnesota. The weather prediction, folks, for the next 7 days. Now, this takes us to Saturday morning. Showing a tenth to a quarter of an inch, but I think that depending on how models play this next weather system for the end of next week, we could wind up seeing more substantial rains finally for the central Gulf states and continuing back through Texas, several to some places maybe many inches, particularly in southeast Louisiana, this tropical flow moving northeastward, and that extends into Georgia and South Carolina. Much of the plains from the western Great Lakes down to the central plains on the dry side here, but busy in the west with the heavy rains over the next 7 days of up to several inches in places from Washington State all the way down to Southern California and beyond. So it's a quiet weather pattern. We don't have any big issues here. It's just a matter of temperature swings from day to day. We've got sunshine today with this high in eastern Canada. That's going to hold through Sunday. Tonight and Sunday night across eastern Pennsylvania to southern New England, it's going to be cold with lows mostly mid 20s and low 30s by the time we get to Sunday morning and Monday morning. The little bit of a weak weather front kind of pushes through here on Monday. You're not going to notice it other than a few passing clouds, but it does slightly reinforce the colder air to hold it on for another day or two. So Tuesday and Wednesday, we'll probably see highs get into the 50s, but only low and maybe pushing middle 50s on Wednesday as the high moves overhead. There's a low that's going to develop in the western Gulf. That's going to bring heavy rains to the central Gulf states and parts of the southeast. And then the high moves offshore. We think we'll be dry through certainly through Thursday and into Friday. That southern moisture moves out, but then late this next week on Friday we have a strong cold front that's going to be pushing eastward, and that might generate some uh, heavy rains possibly Friday night into the first part of Saturday before the storm system moves away, and then it turns colder and drier after that. Just want to point out that um, models are indicating that Thanksgiving week could be a bit of a stormy one. Uh, Not sure how it's all going to play out, but if you're traveling during Thanksgiving week, that might be a good idea to pay attention to the weather, not just here in the East, but over a lot of other areas across the United States. We're going to be talking about this, of course, tomorrow on the Joe and Joe on Sunday evening at 7:35 p.m. on the Joe and Joe Weather Show. So we will see you then and have a great weekend.